Welcome to Deliciously Motivated Mindset, hosted by Deborah and Moira. This podcast is designed to help listeners unlock their full potential, both personally and professionally, so they can thrive, not just survive. Deborah and Moira explore how natural tendencies don't always serve individuals and provide insights on how to harness existing strengths. Their goal is to equip listeners with the habits, mindset shifts, and strategies needed for lasting, meaningful change. Finding purpose and fulfillment can be challenging, but this podcast offers expert conversations, practical advice, and valuable tools to help align with a true sense of purpose and create a more fulfilling life. So grab a notebook, open your notes app, and get ready to take in some game-changing insights. Let's dive in.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, dear listeners. Welcome, dear Deb.
Hi.
Hello, my dear. Here we are with another one of our deliciously motivated mindset conversations. And today is a goodie. If you've listened to these episodes before, you may remember that one of my favorite words is discombobulation. So we're going to talk about strategies to rise above discombobulated situations. Because let's face it, there is a fair bit of that at the moment. Actually, there always is, but just seems to be a wee bit intensified during these times.
Even just when you said at the moment, I'm like, well, let's just go 2020 onwards.
There you go.
People have
There
a
you
memory.
go. That's actually very true. That's very true. But before we get into unpacking and looking at discombobulated situations, let's just get ourselves balanced and grounded and present. So take a nice deep breath in. Nice deep breath in through your nose. And a long, slow out breath out through your mouth. And if it feels comfortable for you, and you can do that, I encourage you to put one or both hands over your heart. And take another nice deep breath in. And a long, slow out breath. And just drop in your mind's eye, visualizing this, intending that you're dropping a cord of connection from your tailbone right down into the core of Mother Earth. And let that go further and further down, grounding you, getting you present and rooted into this present moment. Hands over your heart, still just breathing in and out, as if you're breathing in and out from your heart. Just really focusing on your heart space, your heart energy. And if you are feeling any sense of tension or tightness or discombobulation, just let it drain down out of that core, down into the core of the earth. And breathe in, requesting calming, soothing, grounding, balancing energies into your heart space. And as you do this, just intending that you are connecting your heart energy with the heart energy of everyone who is being touched by this conversation today, regardless of when or how they're listening to it. Just sending a beam of connecting love and light out into the cosmos, out into the collective energy, and breathe in that nurturing, calming acknowledgement. One more nice deep breath. Feeling calm, grounded, and present, and connected with us. Us. That's with the capital U. All of us. And so, dear listeners, we encourage you to grab a note-taking device of your favored note-taking device, because we want to get into discussing these ideas, strategies to rise above discombobulated situations. And we were kind of chuckling about that, about discombobulated situations. They're always around. So, actually, the very first tip I want to, something that just occurred to me to step right into this is that and actually it was the last episode that we did was all about being the boss of you. You are the boss of you. So if you are witnessing or embroiled or stepping into a discombobulated situation of any type, remember you are still the boss of you. You do not have to get dragged into any kinds of arguments or accusations or things that kind of make you feel depleted. You don't have to. You get to choose where are you going to put your energy. So that's my first tip is you're the boss of you. I just kind of want to put that one in there to set the stage.
I went to talk and I clearly had a bit of a
Discombobulation in your throat.
literally discombobulated situation. You are the boss of you. That is so important, and it's just reminding us that it comes back to us. We're
Yeah.
the ones that make our decision. We're the ones that sleep at night from our decisions and actions from that. And I think that's a great one. So if you can't remember last week's episode, then jump in and listen. That's all. That'll condense that one down. But when Moira was starting, I was thinking about strategies to rise above. I was like, what's my first one that when there's something that literally hits me? The first one, and I just went, oh, I do my PEMS. And
Yeah.
my PEMS is your physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, which is your PEMS. If any of those four pillars are out of alignment, if you've had little sleep, your decisions are going to be different. If you've had too much sleep, your decisions are going to be different. If you've had, if you've had a great, if you've eaten healthy, you're going to think differently. If you've got something that's going on that's emotionally tugging you, and you're going to think differently. Any of these things, your spiritual is out of alignment. Any of these pillars, if they are not 100% in order, if they're not 100% in order, then there is going to be wobbles for you. Now, just also knowing you're not going to be 100% perfect all the time. I just need to reiterate that.
Of course not. I mean, that perfection doesn't exist anyway.
Yeah, that's just a little bit ludicrous. We go for realistic and life.
Yes.
But if your PEMS is out of order, you will think things differently. So just give yourself that pause or that breather and actually go, you know what? I've had a yucky sleep. I've only had 3 hours sleep. Usually I'm a 10-hour sleep person. I'm not going to handle this right now. So there's two aspects to that tip I just gave you was your PEMS, but also being able to go, now's not the time to be dealing with this.
Right.
And acknowledging, I've had 2 hours sleep. Now's not the time to have a discussion about what's best for my world because you can't think clearly.
Absolutely, because when you're in a wobble, everything feels like discombobulation, right?
Yeah. So going back to that, you are the boss of you. You have permission to walk away.
Yes.
But just ensure that you say to them, hey, now's not a good time for me. Let me come back to you. Don't just walk away. Don't just walk away. Now's not a good time. Gotta go, and cover your mouth and quickly walk. But you must be able to walk away.
Yeah.
Without excuse, but excuse, groveling.
You have the right to do that. But you know that what you just said leads me into the something that I often talk about is about calming your nervous system. Because your nervous system can kind of go out of whack. That's what I was saying at the beginning about you are the boss of you. There is a lot of discombobulation in this world right now. In Canada, we've just come through an election, and I've been using every time I see something or there's been lots of arguments and accusations and people saying one thing and then somebody else refuting that or ripping it apart in some way. So as soon as I see something like that, it's like, oh, that's my signal to get off of Facebook or to get out of social media because my nervous system is such that it's such an important piece to me. I think that I do the best service to the collective by ensuring that I'm staying in a calm space. So it doesn't
Yeah.
mean I'm pretending. I'm not doing a stick my head in the sand or an ostrich thing. I know it's happening, but us putting our attention and fueling it, that actually has the negative impact. So coming back to calming your nervous system is an essential piece to help us rise above discombobulated, because it kind of just it's water off a duck's back when we do those types of things, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it is. And that is just like they're saying trigger warning, that's a trigger warning. It's like, oh,
Mm,
okay. Oh, right. That's my own personal trigger warning. Let me just pull back and do that.
yeah.
And you've got to have that calming your nervous system down around you. Because if you don't, and that calming your nervous system can be um any of the tips we give you, but it can also be standing in the garden, can be
Mhm.
taking it out of a particular cup, or as I say, that I drink sparkling water out of a wine glass. Just for me, because it feels like, just so any of those things that your self-soothing kit, as Moira calls it, or your glitter
Yes.
bomb kit, and
Yes.
any of those things, just being able to go, okay, now I know. Because when you're in that frazzled state, shite, things don't get
Mhm.
done. Shite doesn't get done. You're spiraling. You're on that hamster wheel. You go up and down. You're going around. You're on the roller coaster. You can't, so to have that pause, stop, reflect, then you can actually recalibrate as
I like
such.
that. Pause, stop, reflect. That's
Yeah.
a good just, in fact, maybe that's a post-it note that you have to have up.
Yeah.
Pause, stop, reflect.
Yeah, yeah. And even that then takes it into, it's not personal. Remembering that even if someone's attacking you, even if someone is attacking you verbally, physically, it's not personal. It's all their stuff.
It's funny
And
that you're saying that, because I was just thinking about the four agreements.
I know I've got the programs in front of me, yeah. But
But
the
it
four,
isn't personal. You're
no, it's
right.
not. Because, but we think they're attacking us because we've done something or we've said something or whatever. But no, they're attacking because they've got their own PEMS out of order.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
their stuff. So remembering that. But the four agreements, definitely, they're a separate tip, but just remembering that it's not personal.
Well, it's not personal is one of the agreements.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not about you.
yeah.
But it's funny because I actually was having that conversation recently on one of my Insight Timer live sessions, and there was a number of people were sharing and agreeing that that actually can be really difficult, that it don't take things personally.
Mm,
Because when somebody's yelling, and I know that myself, if somebody's yelling or saying, you did this or you didn't do this, it can actually create internal discombobulation. But maybe it needs to be dialed back to, it's a trigger to say, oops, I need to go and sit in my own energy bubble for a little bit and just clear out everything that has got all defensive
yeah,
or discombobulated, whatever it is for you, right?
yeah,
It could just be that you've attracted that to be a little reminder to go sit in your own energy bubble for a while,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I think that's just that. That's it. That's that. Being number one, you're the boss of you, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's taking us.
let's go right back to that.
Yeah, that's the one. Um, when I was thinking about the strategies to rise above discombobulated situations, I actually took myself to a situation and went, what did you do? And I'm a quick believer of seeing the chaos, but actually having a moment of celebration to go, I've got something juicy to work on here. And if you can master the knowledge of just flipping that instead of going, oh, woe is me, poor me, I've got this shitey situation, this discombobulated situation I've got to deal with, woe is me, oh, who am I going to get to help? And all these stories that we have. And if you can just go, ooh la la, I've got something to work on now. Ooh la la, yay, yay, yay. Just by flipping that, your body, you can't do it ooh la la when you're in a funk. You
No,
can't say ooh la la when you're just like, ooh. You literally can't, you can't fool your body with these things. Your body goes ooh la la. As soon as you say it, you literally. So celebrate you've got something to work on. Celebrate that there is something there that has triggered you enough to throw you out of sync, to get you clear and specific, and to stir up that vitality within you. Celebrate you've got something.
I love that. And I so love that because I have an exact example of that.
Oh,
Something came up for me this past week, and it was really bothering me, and I knew I was really in trigger land.
yeah,
So
True.
I can't say that I didn't do the oh la la. Look what I have something to celebrate
You
to
smiled
work
even
on.
when you say it. You can't go ooh la la without smiling. Ooh la la, ooh la la.
But so no, you know what I did was I've turned it into a sacred ritual, and I have a ritual all set up to step
Oh,
into tomorrow. And so and I do celebrate that, because had this not happened, I would not have, researched and set up and thought, okay, what am I going to do? So there is a sense, it was just how you said that like, oh, I got something to work on. I celebrate that I took this situation and went, oh, I get to do something with this,
yes.
you know?
But it takes that funk into a little bit of curiosity, a fun. And I'm going to say fun. People are like, that's not what we do for fun, Deborah. Yep, okay, great. I understand that. But it
Well,
takes you to,
meaning could maybe
yeah,
be meaning.
it takes you to a fun meaning. Just
Mm,
a different place that gives you an effervescent would be the thing.
mm.
Just ha 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 ha
A
ha.
lift, yeah, like a little bubble. Yeah, a
Yeah,
lightness. It's a lightness of being, isn't it?
yes, it is.
Yeah,
Yes, the lightness of being, which goes you to nothing's permanent. Reminding yourself that nothing is permanent, and especially when you're in this discombobulation situation, and you just go, there is no end to this. I can't even see how this is going to, like, you're literally in a complete frazzled place. That just reminding yourself it's not permanent allows you to go, okay, righto, well, things move.
absolutely. I love that. And sometimes my suggestion to go with that is sometimes we can just repeat in our mind over and over and over again, if need be, this too shall pass. This
Mm.
too shall pass. Nothing's permanent. This too shall pass. And don't get impatient. Okay, well, if it would pass, how come it's still here?
Yeah. When's it passing? When's it passing? Is it like gallstones passing? Yeah.
Yes. But you see, just these are such simple steps. But the truth is, you got to do them. And sometimes
Yeah.
we just need reminders of, oh, I can actually choose different words to explain or describe who I am in this situation or what is going on around me. It's all about
Mm.
words. There's such power in words, isn't there?
There is, and that just, even just when you're saying that, such power in words, watch your words, but also cancel.
Yes.
So know that what you're thinking, breathing, saying, whether you're saying to yourself, whether you say it externally, any of those things and how it comes out. But also once you let all that out, if you feel you've done a whoopsie, if I can say
As
that,
we
if
do.
a whoopsie with your discombobulated words, go cancel, and you have to do it really quickly, straight after, so that but for me personally, I can't say cancel very quickly without laughing. So if I say something like, oh, duh, Deborah, you've done it again. God, how many times do you need duh, you're saying those things. And I just go,
And she
cancel.
cracks herself up.
I do, because it literally just cancels that. It's acknowledging the universe. It's just a fun way to actually retract your situation, to remind yourself that you actually do have humor in your world. You can laugh
Yes.
at yourself and celebrate and move on, because it's not permanent. But cancel. So watch your words, and if you tip yourself over, would be the easiest.
You know, the thread that keeps weaving through almost all of our tips so far is you being the boss of you,
I know, I kept thinking that.
isn't it?
When I was looking, I was like, back to number one, back to number one, back to
Yeah.
number one.
Yeah,
Yep.
because even saying cancel, cancel, cancel is like, no, wait, I'm the boss, so I get to decide what words stay in this bubble, or
That's right.
right? Yeah. So then that means to one of my favorite words, responsibility.
Oh, yeah.
Responsibility. Rising above discombobulated situations could actually be as simple as remembering you have the ability to respond at all times. That's how I like to think of that word, responsibility. But also to see what is mine to take on, to resolve, to deal with, and what is mine to let go.
Mm.
I think that's a part of the responsibility too, because we are not responsible for everything. We're
No.
responsible to and for ourselves for sure, right?
Well, see, just, yep, right back to responsible, right back to the you're the boss of you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When I was thinking about this, and even when Moira was saying you're responsible for you, that also allows you to remind yourself that you don't need to fix anybody
Mm,
else. So stay in your own lane, put your own oxygen. Even if you've got children, a partner, or anything, you have to do what's best for you, not what's best for everybody else.
yeah.
Because again, you're the one who has to sleep at night. So it goes back to you have to make your own judgment calls, but stay in your lane. Do you?
And because that goes back into the whole piece that I've talked often about the sacred self-care, is that to your point, your self-care is priority number one. This is not negotiation. This isn't oh, I'll get to it when I've got time, or I'll get to it at the end of the day, or after I've got through all my to-do list, because that in itself could be creating discombobulation.
Mm.
Self-care is priority number one, so that you can be of service and of support and whatever it is you're doing to help or be of service to people from a full cup, right? Remember the give from your saucer, not your cup.
Yeah. I think just, but going back to that responsibility, you're not, jumping back one, you're not responsible for anyone else, even if you are a parent,
Yeah.
even if you are, a husband or a wife or a partner or any of those things, you are still responsible for you. They are responsible for them. Just,
Even in that context of being a parent, parents are educating their children how to be. And so if you're running around depleting yourself for the care of that child, you're showing them this is how you got to grow up to be. And
that's,
that's how come people pleasing is
I know.
such a thing, right?
Yeah. And I think when I think about this, I go back to um, hand on heart,
Yeah.
back to if you're really in a pickle, well, in a pickle, any pickle, just put your hand on your heart, and it just reminds me that I live there. And you can just hand on heart just allows us to go, okay, breather, breather. Yep, I've got this. This is where I am, and just allows you to, I guess, feel the heart
Well, feel the
again.
heart, but also anything tactile brings your awareness into the present moment, which is where your power is.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, discombobulation or discombobulated situations is knocking us out of the present moment. It can
Mm.
have us chuntering about stuff that's happened in the past, or worrying and getting caught up in, oh my God, what's going to happen tomorrow or the next day or next year.
Yeah.
And as soon as you put your hand on your heart, all of your
Oh,
awareness comes here, and you kind of go, oh, right here, there's
mhm.
calmness, there's peace, there's ease, there's flow. I
Yeah.
do the hand on heart a lot. Actually,
Well,
that's because I do walk my talk here.
hand on heart, mine's there at least once a day. Just
Mm-hmm.
I just go, this is where I'm going to make decisions, heart decisions, not head decisions, heart decisions, head decisions. And you talked about my nervous system. It
Yeah.
definitely just takes me back to my nervous system of, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And all of that too. The other part around the physical sensation. So Deb and I talk about hand on your heart. If you don't like doing that, then maybe clasp your hands or cradle your face or give yourself a hug or just put your hand on your lap, something. It's the physical touch. It does a couple of things. Physical touch releases oxytocin, which is that feel-good, nurturing hormone, which actually starts to soothe our nervous system in itself. But it also allows us to release that overthinking because we're coming into the physical form, right? Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
It just sounds so beautiful. It's like, okay, yeah. And it just, for me, it just allows me just to calm my farm again. Take back to what's important.
You're listening to Deliciously Motivated Mindset with Deborah and Moira, here to help listeners unlock their full potential so they can thrive, not just survive. They've shared some very powerful insights so far, so it's time to take a moment to breathe, reflect, and jot down any key takeaways. What's one piece of advice that stands out to apply right away? Before wrapping up, Deborah and Moira would love to hear from everyone. Reach out with thoughts, questions, or feedback, and drop your favorite tip from today's episode. They're inspired to see how listeners are putting these insights into practice. Let's dive back in and finish strong.
Yeah, which, okay, of course, is going right back to remembering. So when I talk about being the boss of you, but it's also not only are you the boss, but you're the author, the director, and the actor of your own life path. So if you're the author and you're the director of it and you're the actor in it, and something starts to go a bit wobbly, with you taking the ownership for it, you can say, oh, I need to change the script. I need to change this pattern. I need to change this belief or these words or the role. You can change anything.
I see it just takes us back to that. You are the boss of you again.
Yeah.
I think when I think about this, I go back to if there are repeated, if you're just going, yep, this is what's happening, this is what's happening, this is what's happening. But if you discover there is a repeated awareness, this same situation is occurring, this happened already 3 months ago, or this happened last week, seems to be the same stuff. There is an awareness for you that this is going to continue repeating until you learn to resolve, dissolve, heal, whatever you want to call it. Because if it's coming back, there's a lesson in there for you. And as much as I don't like the lesson, you're missing the lesson if it keeps repeating. So let's there's a couple of things here I just want to say is reach out to Moira and I because we are here for you. We if this situation has turned up in another form, then it's not neutral to your heart, to your soul. It's not neutral. There's something still there. So let us unpick that and figure out what's going on. You're not alone. Because if it is repeating, we are here for you. So just a reminder that Moira and I are here. If there's a regular pattern that we're actually not, we're here, not even if you have a regular pattern, we're here for you. But if you notice there's a regular pattern and you want to shortcut your healing journey, reach out to us.
Definitely. And to your point, if something is coming up, it is for you, but sometimes that's that whole thing of can't see the forest for the trees, right? So if it's like smack right in front of your face and you're kind of like, oh my God, here it is again, that it's like, oh no, maybe I need to speak it out to somebody or have somebody hold space for me while I just kind of let it flow.
Let it flow, yeah. And I think just when you said that, there's a word that we haven't used in our whole of our tips.
Uh-oh.
And it starts with T. Why have we not brought this in?
Why have we not?
Why are we now?
OMG.
I know. This is like, this is
This is the furthest in I think we've got without bringing that one in.
yeah. And the one word, people, can we all guess it? Who said it out loud already? Because it's trust.
Trust.
Trust. Trust that you're on the right path. Trust that things are flowing for you. Trust that you're going to get an outcome at the end. Trust that you are unlocking things on the way. Trust that it's going to work. Like trust in others, trust in yourself, trust in the big, trust. There you go. Is that enough?
That's
For that?
enough. You know what I'm doing.
Oh, she's going for the tea bag.
A tea bag quote, because it's right here. Trust creates peace. That's the perfect antidote for discombobulated situations. If trust creates peace, that's why that actually needs to be right next to you're the boss of you. So, the other thing about trust is trust doesn't mean that you see the path forward right in front of you. But trust says you know it's there, right?
It's a given.
It's a given. And so I don't have to worry about, oh my God, I can't see the path. I can't see the next step forward. Doesn't mean it's not there. You just so then you put your attention on what can I do and what's right in front of me. And you take that tiny, tiny step. Or maybe you don't take a step for that time, but you trust. You trust and know, like, maybe today's not a day for a step. That's okay. Maybe that's just because I need to be and soothe my nervous system and get into my self-care or something, right?
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Trust. I can't believe we've come all this way.
Because the other thing, and here we've come all this way, and I think we did, well, you talked about celebrate. We haven't talked about gratitude.
Oh,
Like, what's wrong with us here today?
what's going on? You're right. What the heck?
But gratitude is, especially during discombobulated situations, because sometimes that can actually throw you out of whack a little bit, and we can forget, because sometimes discombobulation can have us over focus on that which we do not have. But gratitude helps us focus on everything that we do have.
Yeah.
And it's about, so gratitude is not about feeling grateful for the things that you are calling in. It's gratitude for receiving what's here already and saying thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I go around saying thank you to everything. I say thank you to my coffee pot in the morning. I say thank you to my water carrier.
We were talking about that recently. You said you say thank you to your coffee pot, because I started saying thank you again to my food.
Good.
The food I'm about to eat. I bless my food. I don't know, but you were talking about coffee pot, and I'm like, I do when I make my bed now. I thank my bed. I go,
Yeah, I
thank
do
you.
too. I do that.
Thank you for the sleep last night. I'll see you in the morning. I'll see you tonight. Thank you for the sleep. Like that's, I do that. Doesn't thank me back. Doesn't go, it's okay, Deborah. We've got your back. We'll rest today while you out there go do your thing. Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to bring in a really cute, funny story to that, because oftentimes when I get up, my cat's sleeping with me.
Oh yeah.
And so when I make the bed, I'm kind of arranging the comforter around her, and she purrs the whole time.
I do that.
So while I'm saying thank you to my bed and my pillow, and she's sitting there purring away. It's kind of fun.
I have that. I go to bed at night and there's a spot where my dog is laid that I've made the bed around him.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's, of course, my mother would go, just pick the dog up. The dog's a little dog. Just pick the dog up and move it around. No.
No. My cat, but she loves the comforter being moved around, and it makes her just feel all special. And so she purrs the whole time. It just adds to the gratitude,
I love that. I love that. Yeah. And it does. Yeah. So gratitude on everything.
Mhm.
Basically, gratitude on anything and everything that you can. Yeah.
And that we are all in the right place at the right time. Everything is unfolding for our best and highest good.
Yeah.
Even if we would get too distracted in discombobulating stuff. It's all okay.
Well, I think
It's all good.
that's that reminder. It's on our way, not in our way.
Yes, it's one of my
And
favorites.
yeah,
Mhm.
which takes us back to that trust and gratitude. Just reminding yourself, I guess that's that, this too shall pass, but uh, reminding yourself that there is flow
Yeah,
happening, not discombobulation. We're actually moving in this world. And that's that refresher of that.
that reminds me of what we've talked about before too, that whole idea of you can dance in a hurricane, but only if you're standing in the eye. That's that Belinda Carlisle song that I love.
Yes, that's yeah.
Right. And so it is. You can rise above discombobulated situations just so long as you stay grounded and true to your core self. That would be the eye of the storm too. So all the chaos can happen around you, but you choose.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, 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 yes. Just a beautiful reminder. And we've got, I think, like I'm just looked at the time, we've got one more tip to end today's call. So I'm going to throw that to Moira. Strategies to rise above discombobulated situations. What's your one summing everything up before we wrap it all up?
To always remind yourself what kind of what we've been saying, that you are in the right place at the right time. And sometimes even if you kind of go, what? No, no, I'm not. Just
Yeah.
the mantra there would be, I've got this. I've got
Yeah.
this. All is well in my world. I've got this. Actually, I say that every single morning.
Do you?
Yeah, every single morning I say, thank you, thank you, thank you. All is well in my world. That's just part of my set the day up because all is well in my world. All is well in your world. And yes, we do. We navigate our way through discombobulated situations and crazy making stuff, but all is well in my world.
I think even just having that certainty, even if you don't believe it, it's this convincing your body, and your body just tells you, yep, okay, yeah, all is well in your world.
Mhm.
You tell your body all is well in my world, it is all is well. But if it's not, like you're gonna have to take action steps to make sure it is all is well in my world. You're not gonna keep showing up telling all is well in my world, and you're gonna show up and do things the same because you're clearly telling your body a lie. So remembering that stuff. But going back to
When I do it, it's actually 100% true.
it is all as well. Yeah, yeah, totally.
Mm.
But but you've been doing it for how long that you start with that? So when people are going to say all is well in my world, but my knees sore, my this, so it's that trust, and it's actually just keep starting, keep going. It's
Mm.
going to move.
Mm.
Yeah. Um, well, wrapping up, strategies to rise above discombobulated situations. Crikey, 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 crikey. There was a lot of tips here. So if you didn't grab your note-taking device, people, grab it now. Grab it as quick as you can now, because we are going to sum up our podcast in 5 minutes.
We're gonna rattle through these strategies.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one. So the tip number one was listen to our podcast from last week.
That's right.
You
You
are
are
the
the
boss.
boss of you.
You are the boss of you. Just a beautiful reminder to rise above your discombobulated situation is you're the boss of you, reminding yourself that.
Yep, definitely. The next one was to check in with your PEMs, checking in physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Checking in and assessing where are you, how are you. But I also like to think of when we check in with those is what do you need to fill your cup? What do you need to fill your cup to feel soothed and comforted physically, to feel soothed and comforted emotionally, mentally, and spiritually? And do those things. That's part of sacred self-care also, right?
Yeah. And I think just remembering, going back, just having that simple, it's just your PEMS, it's just your PIMS,
Mm.
PEMS. Going back to that, just reminds you to keep moving forward.
Mhm.
Yeah. The next one I had is walk away. Be okay with walking away.
Mhm.
Be okay with walking away, but letting them know I'm just going to move away for a moment to clear my head. I'm
Yeah.
just going to work this one out. Be able to walk away. Say no, be able to walk away is important. But not when I say make an excuse or make a reason, not one that a big justification. I've got to go do this and I've got to do this and I've got to do this. And there's like just
You don't have to
now's not,
explain away.
yeah,
No, no.
now's not the time. I'll come back to you today or I'll come back to you. Yeah, that's it. Walk
Yep.
away.
Yep. And so that it kind of interweaves with what I have here is to calm your nervous system.
Yeah.
So calming your nervous system might be part of that. I don't have bandwidth for this right now. I'll get back to you. That's it.
That's it. That's it. Totally. Totally. The next one, I love that nervous system. Oh, that's my house. My house is, I come home to my house and I'm like, yeah, okay, thank you.
Calming your nervous system.
It totally does. I look outside and now the sun's come up and looks like it's going to be a beautiful day. Just goes, okay. The next tip is pause, stop, and reflect.
Pause, stop,
Just
and reflect.
just takes us back to, okay, whew, okay, pause, stop, and reflect. And it just gives you your own personal breathing space.
Yep, definitely. The next one I have here is we kind of interwove, it's not personal. So if things are happening around you, it's not about you, it's not personal. And that's actually, we talked a bit about the 4 agreements. So the 4
Yeah.
agreements is be impeccable with your word, don't take things personally, don't make assumptions, and always do your best. But it's not about you, right? So even if there's discombobulation, it's like, okay, don't let it trigger you. And if it does trigger you, then maybe that's a gift to say, you gotta look after yourself a wee bit more, right?
Perfect. And she said maybe that's a gift because that jumps into the celebration. And
Yes.
I go, woohoo, got something to work on. Now, not all the time when things get flown at me, I go, oh yay, I've got something to work on. I am human and go, I'll fricking work on you and I'm gonna rise above this and I'm gonna da. But there is that aspect that I go, okay, Deborah, back to your little humbleness. Okay, I've got something to work on. If you can go, ooh la la, I've got something to work on, your whole shoulders and energy just changes to actually have something to work on. And which reminds, just when I jump to the next one, it's not permanent. And just reminding yourself that this too shall pass.
Yeah, definitely. And like I like your idea of the look what I've got to celebrate or to work on to celebrate that and do that ooh la la. But my example there was in the thing that I've just been working on this week is, oh, I need to create a sacred ritual to cleanse and clear. And so that's not necessarily an ooh la la, but it's a, oh, look at this. This is really
Yeah.
special, right?
It's a beautiful curiosity.
Yeah.
See, I would
Yeah.
throw ooh la la into that. Ooh la la. Ooh la la. I would. For me,
And then
I'm talking out wherever I can.
to your point on that it's not permanent, I had also written lightness of being. Just a
Oh,
lightness of being, because then there's no weighted concrete foot around my feet. It's not permanent. This
yeah.
too shall pass.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
a whoo. Uh, uh,
Oh,
yeah, I was
are
like, hang
you
on,
are
what?
you are you missing one?
What? Are you saying that because of the last 10 episodes I keep missing? Um, I've got watch words, cancel,
Yeah.
cancel. Okay, so that's fuel. So
Yes, the
this,
power in words.
the power of your words. Watch your words. Be cautious of your words. Know that even if you're telling yourself internally in your head, you're also telling the universe. If you're saying it aloud, you're telling it. If you're saying it to someone else, you're telling it. So when you say these wobbly words or these discombobulated words that come about, the quickest way to remove that from your vocab is cancel, cancel, cancel. But I say it super quick, like, oh, Deborah, you've done this again, duh. I hear myself do that and I go, cancel, cancel, cancel. And I can't say cancel, cancel, cancel very quickly. It just makes me laugh. So cancel, 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 people. is the way to retract those words.
Yep. And I remind you that nothing's written in stone. You get to undo things or do a
Yes.
redo. The next
Yes.
one I have is responsible. One of my favorite words too. You always have the ability to respond. And so it's when we're in discombobulated situations, it's really important to own what is yours to own and release that which is not. Because sometimes discombobulation is us taking on stuff that's not really got anything to do with us, right?
Yeah.
So
Which the tip I've got then is just another part is stay in your lane.
yeah,
Do you?
yeah,
So that
you do you.
could be amongst her one, Moira's tip, or it could be amongst a new one. But the key is stay in your lane. Do you?
Yep. Yeah, I had that down as a separate one that you had
Okay.
said that. And the next one I had said was self-care. Self-care is priority number one. I've been saying this a lot of late, but it's not negotiable. It's priority number one. It's not like, oh, I'll get to it later, because it's the whole thing of we can be of best and highest service to those who we serve when we are nurtured physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, ongoingly, right?
Yeah.
That's why it's priority number one. It's priority number one because you are actually looking after those who you're here to serve better and to the degree that you look after yourself.
Takes us back to you are the boss of you.
Absolutely.
Right back there.
Yep.
The next tip I had was hand on heart. And that's
Yes.
just a beautiful reminder to just put your hand in your heart. This is where you want to make the decisions in your heart, not your head. And the heart will guide you. Your head will make you run a marathon. So just go back to when you're in that discombobulated situation. It's one you can do very quickly, very publicly, is just hand on heart.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The next one I have is to always remember, this is another nuance of the you being the boss of you, but you are actually the author, the director, and the actor in your life journey. And as such, you can change anything. At any point, you could change things on a dime. It's not a big, long, drawn out process. So claim that, grab the pen, rewrite the story, rewrite the plot, rescript it, change your role, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's yours to do. It's yours to
Mhm.
do. It's yours. It's all yours. The next tip I had was Moira and Debz.
Yes.
We are here for you. Um, we are here for you. That's it. We're
That's
here for
it.
you. Over 80 years experience, we're here for you. That's
Yep.
it. Transform
Yep.
your
And
world.
we've got the global time zones covered.
Yeah. And we've got you covered 100% of the time.
Yep.
Moira during the day, me at night, or if you
Yep.
depend who you are, and
Depending
then
on what side of the world you are.
Moira at night, me in the day. Yeah, we're here. We are
Yep.
here for you. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Perfect.
And then this is like way down the list, but should have been
Yeah,
right
how
at the
the
top.
heck?
Trust. Trust, trust,
Yeah.
trust, trust. Trust you've got this. You are in the right place. You are on the right path. You're in the right space doing the right things. Trust. Even if you can't see the solution, doesn't mean it's not there.
Yeah.
I've got this.
I love, and trust creates peace.
Yes.
I lean in, trust creates.
Creates peace.
The next tip I have is gratitude.
Yep.
Gratitude. Be grateful for this discombobulated situation. Be grateful for what you have. Be grateful for what you don't have. Be grateful for the signs and symptoms that have come before you that you've missed or that you've ignored or that you've just gone, it's not really that big. But just be grateful. Be grateful for what you get to choose to do right from this situation. Be grateful you get to control your world the way you want it.
Yep. And then the next one I have is everything is on our way, not in our way. So we get to flow. If things come up, and they do, discombobulations come up, obstacles come up, but they're all on our way. You say thank you and continue.
Yeah.
Right?
And
Thank
then
you, thank you, thank you.
the beautiful one that Moira threw out at the very, very last was by saying all is well in my world.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And just reminding yourself that all is well in your world.
Yeah. Even the things that we may think are a bit of a challenge, it's still all is well in my world. It's all on my way.
All is well. Yeah.
Yes.
Trust me. All is well in your world, people.
Yeah.
So that's our strategies to rise above discombobulated situations.
Mhm.
I can't believe we took that long to come to trust. Trust and gratitude. You just so you know, listeners, the very next episode we're going to literally launch with trust and gratitude, I
There you
believe.
go. There you go.
I think that's it. That's the one. Strategies to rise above discombobulated situations. What a journey we took you on today. I want to thank you for listening, everybody. But now we want to look at summing up. What are you going to do with this content? What are you going to do with these strategies we've given you? Are you going to share these strategies? Are you going to just take them one at a time? This is up to you. We would love you to share. So the next step for you is share this podcast with those you care about, and share your favorite tip with them, and get them to share their favorite tip, and open up that conversation, because it's the conversations and awarenesses that allow us to move forward, not only with ourselves, but with those around us. So when you have a different ear, you can move through discombobulated situations a lot easier.
Definitely.
So if you're not playing life to the fullest, if you feel you're not playing life to the fullest, take these tips. Don't start with one, start with two, start with three. Let's get things moving for you, because the tips we gave you, or the strategies we gave you, are solid. They're what we use in our world. So summing up, after today's content, what is your highest priority action step you're going to do today? What's your highest priority action step you're going to do today from our strategies that are going to move you towards your goal? Let us know. Drop that in the comments, and we would love to have a conversation. Thank you so much, listeners. Thank you, Moira. Thank you, Internet. Thank you, everybody. And thank you for the fun tips that don't feel heavy. They feel light and achievable.
They do. I agree. Thank you, dear Deb. Thank you, dear listeners. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you for tuning into Deliciously Motivated Mindset with Deborah and Moira, where the mission is to help listeners unlock their full potential and thrive, not just survive. As the episode comes to a close, they trust you've gained some powerful insights. If you haven't already, take a moment to reflect on one key takeaway that you'll apply right away. Before we wrap things up, Deborah and Moira would love to hear from you. Reach out with thoughts, questions, or feedback, and drop your favorite tip from today's episode. They're inspired to see how you're putting your insights into action. Thanks for listening, and remember to keep thriving.